As everybody knows, I am a Buddhist monk, and I was ordained by His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, in December 1987. And I think I was 23 at that time. And I have absolutely no regrets about my ordination and my monkhood. And I'm very happy with my ordination. And the first time that I had the pleasure and the honor and the great affinity to land in Malaysia was in 1992. That was the first time I landed here. I was very disappointed. It looked just like America to me. Modern, clean, great highways, advanced, a lot of food. The pizza was good. I was very disappointed. I thought to myself, it's going to be an exotic Eastern country, but it turned out to be another developed, advanced country, just same like America or Japan. It wasn't a bad disappointment, but it was a good disappointment. And then I started visiting all over Malaysia, the north, south, east, west, all over Malaysia. And I started making friends. I started developing friendships. And I started making more and more close ties with people. And I thought that once I come here, I do a tour of Malaysia for a few months, give Dharma talks here and there, and then I would return back to India. Because India is where my monastery is. My monastery has 3,000 monks. It's not my monastery, but the monastery I belong to has 3,000 monks, great masters, great scholars in South India. And I like India very, very much. And I like the monastery very much. And I like my life in a monastery very, very much. So when I started making friends here, when I went back to India, more Malaysians started coming to visit me. Then they requested me to come back to Malaysia. Then I requested them to come to India. Then they requested me to come to Malaysia, so we went back and forth, and guess what? I ended up staying here. And it's been a very learning experience over the last 17 years that I've been here in and out of Malaysia. And finally, I decided that I have many friends here, many people here, many connections here. So I decided to basically make Malaysia my home. And me being a teacher, it was hard for me just to sit around and do nothing. So I started giving Dharma talks to one person, to another person, to another person, to another person, and then the crowd started to grow. So pretty much we needed to get a license, we needed to get a place, then it didn't fit, and then more and more people came. Then, to make a long story short, we built this place to accommodate everybody, and you're not fitting again. So anyways, this is what we call in Tibetan a Gompa. Gompa is a place of meditation. It's a place of contemplation. Whether you are Buddhist, or you are not Buddhist, or you are religious, or you are not religious, it doesn't matter at all. Let me make it very simple tonight. I'm a Buddhist monk, and I teach Buddhism. More than Buddhism, what religious teachers' responsibilities should be is to teach their members to be productive, positive, better members of society, to abide by the law, to respect their parents, to respect their seniors and their elders, and to be good citizens of their country. Each religion has their own way and has their own approach to making a person better. Our job as a religious teacher is not to make differentiations between which religion is better. which path is better? Which meditation is better? Then within Buddhism, we have many beautiful schools of Buddhism. Whether it's a southern tradition or the northern tradition, it all comes from Lord Buddha. So whether we are Buddhist or not Buddhist, or within Buddhism, whatever religion we are, whatever denomination we are, it doesn't matter. The sign of a religious person is not the clothes that they wear, the sect they belong to, or whether they're Christian, or they're Hindu, or they're Muslim, or they're Buddhist. That's not the sign of spirituality. The sign of spirituality is if a person who claims to be spiritual, wherever they go, create harmony, create love, create understanding, create peace. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter from what religious background you come from. What matters is we all need to survive and live and be on one planet, on one place. We need to share the same water. We need to share the same atmosphere, the same land. We need to share everything exactly the same. So since we have to share everything, instead of looking for differences, it is better if we look for similarities. So I think religion can create a very big beneficial contribution to humankind. Tonight, I'm not going to talk about Buddhism. I'm going to talk about the universality of religion. If I am a Buddhist teacher, then my job is to make sure the people who study with me become better Buddhists, become better citizens, become better human beings, become people who contribute to their country, their society, and their family. And if I meet my Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Jewish brothers and sisters, it should be exactly the same. Our job as religious teachers is not to tell people, this religion is wrong, this way is wrong, this path is wrong, this thinking is wrong. Our job as religious teachers is to find similarities between each other, between each of our religions, and unite. Because you know why? We all want prosperity. We all want peace. And we all want harmony. And we all want happiness. So if we practice religion in the correct way, what's the correct way to practice religion? I do not presume to teach people of other faiths. The correct way to practice Buddhism, or the correct way to practice religion, is to check your own mind. If we are a jealous person, are we applying our religious principles to become less jealous? If we are an angry person, are we applying our religious principles to become less angry? If we are a person that cannot be happy for other people's success, are we applying our religious principles to transform our mind? At the end of the day, what we want from a religious person is simple: a kind, a forgiving, a compassionate, a person who can see very widely, and a person wherever they go creates harmony, happiness, acceptance. What we need in the world today is acceptance. That's what we need today. So if we have this type of spiritual growth, then religion is very beneficial. So our temple here, our prayer hall here, or in Tibetan we call it a Gompa, is a gathering hall. When I come here to give sermons, when we come here to do prayers or meditations, when we get together here to gather, we must leave here a better person. We must not leave here more arrogant, more narrow, but we must leave here a better person. How do we start? with our wives, with our husbands, with our neighbors, co-workers, friends, with our children, and our children with us. If we are young, when we leave this sacred place, this place is sacred. Do you know why it's sacred? Not because of the statues, not because I'm here. It is sacred because all of us have gathered here for one reason, to hear something sacred. What is sacred? Harmony. So when children leave this place, they should be more respectful of their mother and their father. They should not always think, what can my mother and father give me? What can I get from them? What can I take from them? What else can they do to serve me? But when children leave this place, they should think, what has my mother and father did for me? And how can I give back? How can I serve and how can I help them? Do you know why? Because your mother and father won't live forever. And you only have one. It's not like a car. If you don't take care of it, you can get a new one. It's not like a guru. You can get a new one. So if you don't take care of your guru, you can get a new one. Never mind. There are a dime a dozen. You just go India, there's another 3,000 of me. Mother and father cannot replace. Only one. So if you're not nice to your mother, you're not nice to your father, if you're rude, if you hurt them, if you always demand, if you always push them, if you always want more and more from them, then one day, when they pass away, there's no point to sit by their gravestone and say, I miss you. Because that will happen one day. No point. Do it now. Husband and wives, look. I'm a monk. It's not very good for me to talk about this, but I talk about it for a little while. Husband and wives or partners. Remember when you first met? Even 1 minute cannot be SMS. Some of you, I think, when you first connected, maybe 100 years ago, no SMS. You know, no phone call. Even 1 minute cannot be with my wife, cannot be with without my wife, cannot be with my husband. Every minute, everything. Even we do the laundry, we smell. We think, oh, after we wash the shirt, oh, this is my husband's shirt. Oh. Then we go home, oh, this is my wife's place. Oh, so nice, my wife's shampoo. Now we say, oh, my wife's shampoo. Laundry, the maid can do it. Shouldn't be like that. The person we should be kind to is our wife and husband. A good family unit creates healthy people. People we work with. We spend most of our working day with people we work with. Yes, at work there's all types of personalities, all types of characters, all types of people, all types of different backgrounds. As a spiritual practitioner, it is our responsibility to change, not theirs. So if you've been baptized by Jesus Christ, if you've taken refuge by Lord Buddha, if you have accepted the holy faith such as Hinduism or whatever your faith is, if you claim yourself to be a religious person, let me please respectfully make this clear. It is your responsibility to change, not the people around you. It is your responsibility to transform. So if you say, I'm a good Hindu, prove it. You won't be a good Hindu by staying at the temple all day, making prayers, singing. You won't be a good Buddhist by donating money and doing nothing. You won't be a good Christian if you just wear a cross and run around telling people, have you been saved? Okay, you won't be. If you're a good Christian has compassion, has forgiveness and acceptance and tolerance. A good Buddhist has compassion, love, tolerance, acceptance. A good Hindu, a good Muslim, a good Jew, all has compassion, love, tolerance, acceptance. If we have acceptance, love, tolerance, and compassion, we are good Buddhists. We are good Jews, good Muslims, good Christians. I'm not trying to preach to you about another religion that I don't have much knowledge about, but I think spiritualism should equal what? Better people. So if you say I'm a good Christian, wonderful. Who am I to come and say, oh, if you accept the Buddha, it's better? No. No. If a Christian comes and says, oh, you have to be a good Christian or else you're going to go to downstairs. I say, no. No. I won't go downstairs because it's my deed that makes me go downstairs and upstairs. So today, the global system or our interconnection is very close. Look at in this room, we have so many beautiful international people from all over the world. Who am I to sit up here on the throne, fancy with my hat, to tell you, oh, I'm the best. My style is the best. If you accept what I believe, you're the best. If you don't, you're going downstairs. Wrong thinking. What's my thinking? Whatever religion you are, you be the best that you can be. How is that? The best religious person you can ever be is to have compassion with no agenda. Let me repeat. Compassion with no agenda, meaning to genuinely care and take care of another person, another being, an animal, without expecting anything back. To be tolerant when people are different than you, when their thinking is different than you, when their action is different than you. To be tolerant because they come from a different background, different culture. You must be tolerant. You must be extremely forgiving. Do you know why? Many people are unhappy. Materialism makes people unhappy. When people are unhappy, they have more anger. When they have more anger, they express it more. You express the anger back, they do to you, you do to them, it never ends. It becomes a war. You should be more forgiving and let it go. Why? Because you are spiritual. What's the point in the morning you pray? In the morning you get up and pray, but in the afternoon you're fighting with someone. Or you're not nice to your wife. Or you're not nice to your mother. Or you're not kind to a fellow worker. What's the point? You see, spiritualism is here. It's not this building. This building is mortars, cement, wood, plastic, tiles. This building is not spiritualism. When we come here today to open up this Gompa, this celebration, when you open this Gompa, the deeper meaning is for Kechara people, for deeper meaning, if I may share, is that for Kechara people, it is a sign for us to open up more. It is a sign for Kecharians, people who are part of Kechara, to be more kind, to think more, to be more concerned about others. Like 3 days ago, after application for 6 months, Kechara has opened it's going to be opening its latest, we are going to open our latest department, and that is Kechara Animal Sanctuary. We have gotten our official stamp of approval from the Malaysian government, who is very kind, and yes. We're going to be opening Kechara Animal Sanctuary because I, being an Easterner, raised in the West, come back to the East. I'm a banana turned inside out. You know how bananas are, yellow on the outside, white on the inside? I'm one turned inside out again, so I don't know what I am anymore. I'm a banana Rinpoche. My point, I have a lot of Buddhist knowledge to share with those interested. But you see, my philosophy is a little different. Not just sit here and chant and meditate and pray, which is very good. Very, very good. My gurus always say, very good. I like Dharma in action. I don't want to just sit around and teach, which I will. I've taught for hundreds of hours. I don't want my friends and my students and members just to listen and not do anything. I want Dharma in action. So in Kechara organization, we have 13 beautiful departments, such as Kechara Soup Kitchen, where we are feeding 1,100 people per week. Why? Because when I was a small boy, I ran away from home to become a monk, because my mother didn't want me to become a monk, but I ran away. I hitchhiked from New Jersey to California to become a monk because my mother said you cannot become a monk. So I left home to become a monk at 16. And when I hitchhiked, I slept outside and I stayed outside and I had to beg for food. And I was very hungry. I'm not hungry anymore, as you can see. You know, the monks have a rule not to eat after midday. Well, I ate quite a lot before midday. They put a lot of food in my bowl, quite a lot. And I get my middays, I get it mixed up. Is it American midday or Malaysian midday? So I cheat a little. Now, anyway, so I was hungry and I decided to open up a Kechara soup kitchen. And now, when we started, we were giving 14 to 15 packets of food per week. Now we are giving 1,100 a week with no agenda. Similarly, each of the Kechara departments is open in order to serve society in one way or another, without any agenda, without people having to be Buddhist, without people having to convert or accept my thinking. Do you know why? Whether you're Buddhist or not, when you're hungry, you're hungry. When you're sad, you're sad. When you need love, you need love. So Kechara, under my partnership, Kechara people partner with me. I used to say leadership, but I dare not anymore. They're becoming leaders themselves. Kechara, together with me, we are going to learn Buddhism, spirituality, but we're going to learn a brand of Buddhism that is non-offensive to every other race and religion in this country and region. Why? We accept everybody. Number one. Number two, we are going to open and continue departments that put action back into society, helping. In the future, I have plans for a women's shelter, for women who have been battered and hurt and damaged, and they have nowhere to go. If I can, hospices for the very sick, senior citizen places. There's nothing more horrible than an old person abandoned and thrown out. There's nothing wrong with being old, but it's horrible when they're thrown out. So I plan to do more of these things, non-profit, in order to give back to society. Why? Whether we believe in religion or not, we all need love. We all need care. We all need the human touch. And that's what I'm going to work for to the end of my life. That's what Kechara stands for. Kechara is a Sanskrit word. Many of the Tibetan Buddhist words and mantras and prayers are based on India's Sanskrit language. Kechara in Sanskrit means heaven. Vajrayani's heaven. So when people come to Kechara, the meaning for them is that when they come and they join and they help other people and they make a difference in people's lives, that's heaven. You create heaven on earth for someone else. Okay? So Kechara, Tibetan Buddhists has a profound respect for Indian culture and India. Profound. Because Buddhism came from India. And Tibetan Buddhism directly traces its source to Indian Buddhism. Directly. So therefore, the word Kechara, which I gave to our organization, represents heaven. Inner heaven and outer heaven. Inner heaven is having tolerance and peace and care and love. Outer heaven is creating this for everybody around us. And then this logo that you see, this logo represents the 4 elements of our planet. It represents the 4 elements of our body. When we do higher meditations, when we do higher contemplations, we are able to control the 4 elements in our body. We are able to control our mind. We are able to gain shamatha, or peace. When we gain great shamatha, when we gain great peace, we can control our bodies. We can control our environment. We can control our attitude. So this symbol, what we call is bomb, is a symbol of higher meditations, which we wish to do in Kechara. And when you achieve those higher meditations, you're able to control your emotions and your feelings and who you are inside. The purpose of controlling who you are is to bring no harm to other people. Okay? So this is Kechara Gompa. It's a building, and the reason we come here is when we leave, we have to be better people. How do we start? Forgive the person you're very angry with. If they take advantage of you, don't let them take advantage of you. Say, no, I'm not going to let you do that to me again, but I'm not also going to get you back. When you leave Kechara Gompa today, forgive a person you have been angry with. When you leave Kechara Gompa today, realize that the essence of spirituality of all religions is compassion, is tolerance, is acceptance. And how you want to achieve those qualities is up to you. If you find a Buddhist path wonderful or suitable, fine. If you find another way, fine. The goal is those qualities. When you leave Kechara, I want you not to think, oh, that was a nice building. That was a great temple, and the Lama looked pretty good. I don't want you just to think that, of course, the last number 3, you can think that, it's all right. I don't want you just to think that. I want you to leave here with a little bit of knowledge. All of you have taken the time to be here, and I thank you. All of you have come here, and when you leave, I want to share with you my spiritual thoughts. I don't want to force my thoughts on you. I want to share my thoughts with you, and those are my thoughts. Today, I want to thank very much His Excellency, Dr. Victor Wee, who is the chairman of Tourism of Malaysia, to grace our function here. And I'm very, very happy because, if I may humbly say so, we've become small friends. Not big friends yet because he's a very big person. Slowly, we become friends. And he's come to grace our occasion. I'm very, very happy. And I would like to thank our esteemed Sangha member, the great monk here, who has graced our place from his Sentul monastery. And I want to thank Reverend very much for coming here, because I'm very happy to see another yellow robe. I'm very happy. Reverend reminds me I'm not the only one. There's another very special, unique person here. And Reverend, being my senior and older, I ask his forgiveness to sit on a place higher than him. I ask his forgiveness by monk coats. And I'd like to thank the gracious, our Mother Teresa of Malaysia, Mother Mangalam. This is our own, very own, very, very own, I repeat many times, Mother Teresa. She's about 1 feet tall. She weighs about 2 kgs, but her mental strength is that of a giant. And she has inspired all of us to dedicate our lives to do something more for others. The children that she has saved in her life and the hope that she has given her has inspired me. In the future, I want to do something like her. I don't think I'll be so great, but I want to do something like that. I thank Mother for being here. And then among our group, we also have Her Excellency, Madam Maria Isabel Rendon, the ambassador to Malaysia from Argentina. I thank Her Excellency for being here and sharing in our cultural get-together. Who would know a Tibetan monk would meet an Argentinian diplomat in Malaysia in a Tibetan Gompa? Very nice. I'm very happy to see you. And then we have someone who we had the last We had a golf tournament the last time, and we raised quite a lot of funds for good purposes. And this couple I wanted to thank, which is Tony and Alicia. Are they here? They're hanging around somewhere. I wanted to thank them very much for their help, and I'm glad they are here. And then I also want to thank my good friend, not old friend. Last time when I didn't have Kechara, when I didn't have supporters, I didn't have anyone. I was just walking the streets of Kuala Lumpur with my begging bowl. Walking the streets of Singapore, yes, with nothing. My good friend, Dato' Eric Tan, helped me a lot. And today I'm very surprised to see him. Dato' Eric Tan sponsored, helped, constructed, because he's a great developer, my first center in Singapore last time. But I left Singapore, so he took over the center. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's still giving teachings. But he was a great supporter and my good friend. Really, when I had nothing, I had no supporters and no help, nobody. Dato' Eric Tan, he helped me quite a lot. I don't see him much these days because he lives very far in Malacca, very far. I think when you come from Malacca to here, you need a visa. But Dato' also may not know that I can see his two sons hiding in the back who got their visas too. But Dato' is very special to me because he supported me by finances, by emotion, in many ways when everything was not working for me. So today when I see Dato', I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy. And he's not going to escape. Then I want to also thank very much, when I first came to Malaysia, 1992, I had nowhere to stay. I was a skinny, young, idealistic, very good-looking monk with nowhere to stay. And I mentioned was. And I met a wonderful couple who extended their house and extended their residence and let me stay there. They gave me food, shelter, room, and hundreds of people came to see me in their house. And I want to say hello to Mama Hao, Papa Hao. In 1992, when I came here for the first time, I stayed in Mama and Papa Hao's house. I had nowhere to go. And they extended their house bigger. They extended their house bigger. They gave me 2 big rooms. Mama Hao set up an altar, set up a throne, set up an area. My monks stayed in another room. I stayed in this room. And hundreds of people came to see me in their house. Mama and Papa Hao are simple, ordinary Malaysians who go to sleep around 10. Wake up early, quiet, don't disturb anything. When I and my entourage showed up, it became a circus. Because there were people coming in non-stop all day. And Mama Hao helped me quite a lot. So today when I opened up Kechara House, it came from Mama Hao. It came from Papa Hao. Because when I met them, I will tell you the truth. I said to myself, seriously, Malaysians are very nice. They don't even know me. They let me stay in their house. They give me food. They're very, very nice, you know. Mama Hao gave me that impression when I first came. Yeah. And I'm also very honored to have my good friend who I have not seen for a long time. We hardly meet because we have different lifestyles. Miss Ann Wu, who used to work for Nanyang and do a lot of things for Nanyang, do a lot of charity work for others. She's a wonderful, wholesome, good, faithful Christian woman. I'm a wonderful, good, wholesome Buddhist man, but we get along perfectly because she has something that I always look for people, compassion. So today when I see Ann Wu here, she may be retired from Nanyang, but what she has done for many years will not be forgotten by me. And I want to tell her I'm still doing prayers for her. I pray this way, you pray this way, same thing. My good friends who have become new friends, I'm very happy to see my friends from Thailand, Green and Jadawan. Very, very happy. Very, very nice. On my special guest list, nothing in Kechara can be possible without people. I have 20 people who I have called liaisons. In Tibetan, we call them changse. I have 20 people who have given up everything in their life except their lay clothing to work 100% with me. They are ordinary men and women. They are husbands, they are wives, they are mothers, they are grandmothers. Ordinary people who meet with me, work with me, and go all the way with me. Some of them are great writers. Some of them are great developers. Some of them are talented artists. Some of them are great speakers. Some of them are great fundraisers. I have 20 very talented, sincere, dedicated, and committed people who work with me. They are what I call liaisons. This is all very nice, and people throw flowers, and I come sit on the throne. But you know, actually, there should be 20 more thrones for them, because they work very hard, night and day. Yeah. I want to thank my 20 liaisons. Dato Mei Peng. I want to thank JP Tong, Ui Ben Kui, Cha Su Ming, we know her very well. Mr. Lo Sing Piao, Mr. Henrik Ui, Dato Ruby Kong, Mr. Paul Yap. This is a little confusion, so I'll just say Susan Lim. That's an inside joke. So we just say Susan will be safer. Susan Lim. Sharon Saw, great writer. Great writer. Ye Yi, David Lai, Mr. Ngao Vun Chin, Yok Fui, his wife, Miss Lee Kim, Miss Han, who's in charge of KIM department, and the department just opened the other day, and my very good friend and helper, benefactor for many years, Da Ting Eng, who has been with me throughout. She met me when I was just a poor little monk walking on the streets. Then we have Miss Wan from Thailand. And then we have, of course, Miss Irene, who's been with me for 17 years. These 20 liaisons, if you want to know more, go on our website, work very hard for me. And we have 13 departments. The 20 liaisons hold, head, control, make grow, completely operate the different departments that we have. And the liaisons meet up with me approximately once a month. We discuss, they update me, they let me know what's going on. And recently, I've had a handover of secular power to my liaisons, who are doing a great job. They have a lot of Dharma knowledge, a lot. And myself is retiring from secular work and now becoming a Dharma teacher, as funny as that sounds. So I work together with my liaisons, and without them, none of this would be possible. And the committee that did this whole thing, JP, Dato Mei Peng, Mr. Ngao, Dato Ruby, Theory, Yok Fui, Sharon, Susan, Irene, Henry, they were the committee that got this whole Gompa and downstairs together. And I want to make a special mention, Our Lady President, Dato Mei Peng, who's a very powerful businesswoman, an intelligent person, a devoted wife, a loving mother, and also my student and good friend, if I may humbly say so, was in charge of this whole building. And she got it done. And she got it done quietly, peacefully, and very, very, very harmoniously. She got this all done. And if anybody knows Dato Mei, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A very quiet lady. She worked very hard along with taking care of her family, because she loves her family very much, and flying to Shanghai to take care of a business back and forth. And she told me that she loves her husband very much. And she wants to dedicate this whole building and her hard work to her husband, Mr. Siang. She wants him to live long She wants him to play more golf. She wants him to be more healthy. And she wants to live with him for another 100 years and experience the bliss that she's had with him for many years. She told me she respects her husband very much because her husband respects what she does. And they have this wonderful relationship. That's what she told me. So she wants to dedicate her hard work to building a temple to her husband's long life. And I thought, wow, that's really Buddhist. It's very, very Buddhist. Okay? And I want to thank KH Committee, President Dato Mei Peng, of course, I just mentioned. Vice President Mr. Henry Wee, who's my good friend, supporter, helper, confidant for many, many years. Henry respects me as his guru, as his teacher, but when he needs to say something, he will tell me. Because he's a very honest person. And I respect Mr. Henry Wee very, very much, tremendously. And we have Secretary May Ong, Treasurer Ms. Yok Fui. Ms. Yok Fui is a great treasurer. She's very careful with the finances. Nicholas Yu, Committee, Han Ming Kiap, Dr. Hank, Becky Yap, and Louis Lee. That's the people I want to thank. And our chapters in Johor Bahru, we have study groups in Johor Bahru, Kuantan, Malacca, Ipoh, and Penang. I want to thank all these people for coming and joining us because our study group in Kechara is growing all over Malaysia. Okay? Today is a happy day. Now I'm going to do a little bit of chanting. Those of you who are okay, you chant. Those of you who are not, you chant your own way. You pray your own way. We'll do about 6-7 minutes, a little prayer. I do a dedication, then I'm done. I'm done. Okay? We have